but he doesn't have much choice tonight.
Here's Anthony Cook hammering on the boards. Brakowski gets it out to Humphries, the former CU star. The stunner step, and he draws the foul on Reggie Williams. Williams gets foul number 1. And that gets Paul Westhead up early.
And that's one of the big adjustments Reggie's going to have to make. Not the fact that he's playing outside offensively, because that's where he plays most of the time anyway. But now going from guarding bigger, not quite as quick people, to guarding those fast little guards like Jay Humphries.
It was 4 years ago when Jay Humphries was a young player with the Suns that Doug Moe and the Nuggets had much interest in him and were trying to maneuver to get him in a trade. Instead, Phoenix sent him around trade deadline here to Milwaukee in return for Craig Hodges. And Humphries in the last couple of years now coming into his own.
He really is, Al. In fact, right now, Alvin Robertson, his teammate in the backcourt's an all-star, and Humphries' stats not that much different than Robertson's.
2-0, the Bucks lead. Williams lets it fly, and he rattles the rim. Reggie Williams, as a Nugget, is averaging 15 points a game in his first 10 games here. He was averaging 8 a game in San Antonio. Danny Shays takes the ball on the high post. He is guarded by Anthony Cook. 2-2 the score, first minute of play. Fred Roberts inside to Shays. He is stripped by Williams. Williams now ripping it up for the Nuggets. Williams against Brakowski, who is also a former San Antonio Spur. Wolf on the drive. Shays can't gather it in, and Rasmussen with the follow.
Sometimes you get a little too pumped to play a basketball game, and Danny's hands not real quick here in the early going. He's fumbled the pass last time, and there the rebound.
Humphries swishes it in, and he has all 4 of the Milwaukee points. The Bucks' best home record in the NBA. They have lost just once here, that to Philadelphia. 20 wins, 1 defeat at home. This team has led the Central Division for most of the first half of the season, now dropping to 3rd behind Detroit and Chicago. Humphries tries again. There is Shays, who is well suited for the Eastern Conference and the Milwaukee half-court game. Fred Roberts sinks it. So the Buck shots are all coming from the outside. Adams tries to blow by Humphries. He gets some help from Robinson. Adams finds Wolf open. Swish. Joe Wolf, who has about 75 friends and family at the Bradley Center here tonight. Rooting him on. Coming from Kohler, Wisconsin. Robertson. Rasmussen goes upstairs for the rebound. Blair has moved into the top 10 in rebounding in the NBA. It is Adams to Wolf. Reggie Williams on the back of Robertson. So the Nuggets right now.
34, Reggie Williams. That's his second. The Nuggets second.
With Reggie Williams getting his second personal foul. That's the last time the Nuggets won in Milwaukee, going back to 1986, and those were the starting lineups that night. English, Nat, Cooper, Lever, and Dunn. Roberts gets his second field goal. The Bucks lead it 8-6. Nice setup by Joe Wolf to spring Anthony Cook, and this ball game is all tied at 8.
And that time Frank Brakowski not awake defensively. He was way back under the basket, and a nice cut down the lane by Anthony Cook.
Brakowski trying to pound it in on Cook. He has nothing there. Just 8 seconds on the shot clock. The Nuggets half-court defense have certainly intensified. And right there you see several Nuggets bunching up inside. Very few easy baskets given by the Nuggets these days.
We've seen this the last couple of games against New York and against Utah. The Nuggets are going to let you have that outside jumper, but you're going to earn a basket if you get it in the paint.
Nuggets look to take the lead. Williams with Robinson covering him. Back it goes to Reggie Williams. This is for 3. Reggie Williams downtown for the 5th time as a Nugget in 18 attempts.
And Reggie has that kind of range. He's a 42% three-point shooter for the season. So, and that's shooting 44 of them.
It's Rasmussen on Brakowski. And there's the giveaway. Here is Adams against Humphries. Roberts back the other way. Humphries breaks out. Cook races back. Goes upstairs. Nuggets certainly had the right man back in Anthony Cook. But the two guards just turning him around. 1-point lead for the Nuggets. Adams tries again. Swish.
And that was a little better shot than the last time down. Michael a little carried away that time and shot a fall-away jumper from about 12 feet. But a good penetrating move that time by Michael.
Humphries use off the screen and a give and go to Frank Rakowski.
We've talked about Danny Shays being suited for the Eastern Conference. The same case is true with Rakowski. He's having an outstanding season after coming over from San Antonio.
Joe Wolf lights it up. He started against Utah and had a fine game. Joe developing into a role player for the Nuggets, and his role changes from game to game. But he has been right on top of things. Del Harris looks disgusted at the moment. He trails the Nuggets. 500 team, one step at a time. Now they're looking for a victory over a 500 team on the road. The Bucks 27 wins, 17 defeats. Shays shuffling the feet, and Wolf pulls it down for the Nuggets. Storming out is Michael Adams. He races past Humphries. He goes coast to coast. Michael Adams from start to finish, and it's 4 points for Adams.
And Michael's had a lot of practice shooting against bigger players, but he still amazes me. Nice English off the glass.
Rasmussen reels that one in. He finds Adams on the go. Adams sprints again, fires it up. He hits it. He is fouled. Michael Adams on the quick start once again.
And Michael showing the people here in the Bradley Center why he was the NBA Player of the Week last week. Again, past 3 Bucks, and it falls in. Al, I don't think that Del Harris can be too happy the way Milwaukee is playing. He likes a more deliberate style offense, and the Bucks are throwing up those quick outside jumpers right now. 7
points for Adams. Chris Jackson is in the lineup. Robertson with Blair Rasmussen waiting for him. Roberts has nothing. Reggie Williams goes to the bench with the 2 fouls and 5 points. Humphries checks the clock. 6 seconds to shoot. Rakowski with a short shot, and Shays is hammered. And again, you see the congregation of Nuggets inside.
But watch, right at the end of this play, Rakowski takes a shot. Watch Cook and Wolf look at each other. They just stand there. The ball falls between them, and Danny comes away with the offensive rebound. Shays will go to the free throw line, shooting 89%.
In 8 years as a Denver Nugget, those are the numbers posted by Danny Shays. 51% from the field. Last year, the Nuggets' leading shooter from the field. Always can hit from the foul line. Matter of fact, this year he is ranked 8th best in the NBA, as Dan had noted. That's what he had Saturday against the Clippers. The game before against Golden State was his best of the year when he scored 25 points and had 13 rebounds. And after a half a season, Shays working more and more into this Bucks lineup. That one is short by Adams. Jerome Lane is checked in now for the Nuggets. Fred Roberts will try again. Fred Roberts has hit 3 field goals and has 6 points. Initially, he was a stopgap pickup, and he is now a starter. Jerome Lane battling his former teammate Danny Shays. Nuggets lead it by 4. Jackson some moves on Lester Connor, and it's grabbed down by Robertson. At 6'3", Robertson is the leading rebounder on the team. Now Ricky Pierce comes in, who's the leading scorer. Shays can't connect. Nuggets with 5.5 to go in the first. On the run, leading by 4. Adams tries to make it 7, and he does. Michael Adams downtown, and he's in double figures already, and we've just played 6.5 minutes.
And Del Harris has gone to a 3-guard offense right now. Lester Connor with the ball. Robertson and Pierce also in the game.
Cook reaches out for the rebound. Adams, line pass, and it's stolen by Robertson, one of the top thieves in NBA history. Lester Connor, who was acquired last week from the Nets in return for Cadillac, or he came here in return for Anderson. Shays all alone, and he blows it. Here's Jackson on the run against Pierce. Stunner step. The tip by Jerome Lane, and the Nuggets continue to surge. leading it by 9, 25-16.
Well, this team, talking about Milwaukee, didn't play very well on that 5-game road trip. Portland was the only really outstanding team that they played, and they lost all 5.
Robertson sinks from the outside. Milwaukee at one point had a record of 25-8 and led both Detroit and Chicago in the tough Central Division, but they have lost 9 of their last 11 games, 8 of those on the road. And this team that was a very together ball club now starting to point fingers. Rasmussen pulls the trigger, and Roberts with one arm fending off Jerome Lane gets the rebound with the other. Lester Connor finds Roberts, who goes all the way. A late whistle. Rasmussen thought he had the ball upstairs, but instead the foul is called. Joe Wolf checking back in for Anthony Cook. The foul is called on Rasmussen, and that is his first. Reggie Williams on the floor. Cook goes out, and Michael Adams gets a rest. He leaves with 10 points.
Well, Paul's going to have to shuffle the players tonight. He only has 10 in uniform. Of course, Todd Lichty and Orlando Woolridge both on the active list still, but neither player playing.
Todd Lichty is out for at least 6 weeks, so we have heard no plans for the Nuggets to pick up another guard. They only have 3 guards actually now, in Adams and Jackson and Reggie Williams, but Paul Westhead would prefer to use Williams at the small forward. Unless something comes along that makes sense for the long term, Nuggets at this point haven't announced any plans to pick somebody up to plug this hole. Jerome Lane, it counts, and he is fouled. Lane digging inside.
And Jerome is a player that could give the Nuggets a real lift. He's been a little bit down lately, lack of playing time, but a pretty shot right there. Jerome cutting down the lane, up and over Danny Shays, and a chance for the 3-point play.
He was fouled by Shays. 4 points for Lane. Here is Ricky Pierce off the bench. He averages 22 points a game. Top 15 scorers in the league. Robertson and Shays can't hold on. The bad pass was at Shays' shoelaces.
You talk about Pierce averaging 22 points a game out. That's in under 29 minutes per game. So he is a real offensive threat off the bench.
Jackson picked up by Connor. Wolf finds Williams open, tries for another 3. Wolf keeps that alive. Rasmussen stuffed by Shays, and Wolf gets it out to Jackson for 2. Here's Jerome Lane battling inside. There certainly has been a new spurt on the Nuggets over the course of the last week. Roberts just gets that stuff in there. Fred Roberts holding this Bucks team together. He averages 8 points a game. He has 10 already in the first quarter. Just under 3 minutes left in the first. Nuggets lead it by 5. Williams, the stutter step against Roberts. He twists and turns for the finger roll. Long and lead at 6'7", 195. Reggie Williams able to crack through the seams. Nuggets lead it by 7. Pierce off the screen. And Pierce cannot find his shot. Jackson gives it off to Williams. Rasmussen pulls the trigger. Got it. And the Nuggets continue to pour it on in Milwaukee. Remember, the Bucks have lost just once in 21 games this year on their home floor. That to the 76ers a couple of weeks ago. 9-point lead for the Nuggets. Inside, the wrestling goes on between Rasmussen and Shays. And Rasmussen is called for his second foul. When we come back, Anthony Cook and Kenny Battle getting ready to come in. Battle with the steal and the stuff to sew the victory, 120-115. And in just 8 minutes of play, he had 6 points, 2 steals, including that one, a couple of offensive rebounds, and a block shot. Certainly prophetic words by General Manager Bernie Bickerstaff when he described Battle as a relentless player, not a great shooter, but a competitor and tenacious on defense. And we saw all that wrapped up in the 8 minutes of play in his debut. And now Battle is out there for the second time as a Nugget. 1 minute 45 seconds to go in the first, and the Nuggets hold a 7-point lead. Jackson, great fake, leaves Connor behind, and Brandon Lojas comes over to help out his teammate.
That was an outstanding move by Chris. He started over the screen, lost his defensive man. Connor jumps over, and Chris goes backdoor, but Lojas, an exceptional play, comes over and blocks it with the left hand.
Nuggets with Jackson and Williams in the backcourt. Williams runs it down. He is all over the place, talking about relentless players. No foul is called. Battle with the rebound, and now a late whistle by Steve Javy, and he nails one of the Bucks.
A very late whistle by Javy, but it appeared to be the correct call as Williams goes baseline. Right there, Lojas slaps him on the wrist, and Reggie Williams, 83% free throw shooter, goes to the line.
Yeah, this is a tough customer. Nobody ever told him he just weighs 195 pounds. He had an argument with Karl Malone in the Utah game, and really played with Malone's head, helped take Malone out of the ball game in the closing minutes. Williams will back down to no one. Pierce hits his first of the night. And that's a mentality the Nuggets are now starting to develop. They have become very physical. They have athletes now on the roster who like to play aggressively. Here is one of them, battle, twisting and turning, and misses with the left hand. Shays rips it down. Bucks playing tonight without Jack Sikma, having some back problems. He'll also miss the next couple of games. The tip by Lojas, a 7-footer who actually has a perimeter game, but he sneaks inside there. Great pass, Jackson to Cook. Rebound, Battle for the reverse. And Kenny Battle scores his first basket tonight. Keep in mind, Battle just came off the injured list with an ankle injury in Phoenix. He hadn't played since December 4th. Connor lets it fly, and Lester Connor hits his first field goal. 35-30, the Nuggets lead it by 5, coming down to the final seconds of the first period. Jackson tracks it down. He gets 2 for a corner. Chris Jackson, his first field goal of the night.
Well, Chris took a bad shot right there, but he made up for it. He knew it was short. As soon as he released it, followed and got his own rebound and stuck it back in.
Jackson coming off a 17-point performance in just 21 minutes against Utah. He's put a couple of real solid performances back-to-back, Utah and the Knicks. Connor not known for his shooting, and a great block by Cook. 1 second to go. Williams has to get it off, but not in time. The Nuggets cannot beat the clock, but Anthony Cook going upper deck for that block, and he takes the Nuggets out of the first quarter, leading Milwaukee in Milwaukee by 7. Play, their Milwaukee Bucks have lost just 1 of 21 at home, trailing the Nuggets 37-30 at the end of 1 quarter.
This copyright program is presented by the authority of the NBA.
Now we see the Nuggets pull out the press. Brayer sets it up to Pierce, open for the shot.
Well, Paul says he still wants to use the full court press, and he will after a timeout or a break of some sort, but I don't think it's going to be nearly as effective as that half-court defense.
Michael Adams quickly takes it right through.
See Connor already on his heels backing up. Not much of a match for the quickness of Michael Adams. They're going to say Michael wasn't shooting that ball, so the Nuggets simply get it inbound.
Adams there looked like the ball in a pinball machine. 10 points for Adams in the first quarter. Joe Wolf goes to work on Lojas and comes up short. The Nuggets with Adams and Williams, Wolf, Rasmussen, and Battle up front. Connor darts into the corner, finds Lojas, who is a 3-point threat. Rakowski. He averages 12 points a game in his 7th season out of Penn State, and he came to Milwaukee from San Antonio in exchange for Paul Pressey.
One very revealing stat in that first quarter, Al. The Nuggets were able to get up 10 more shots than were the Bucks.
Nuggets 16 of 35 from the floor. Do you know what that means? They keep this pace, they'll take 140 shots this ball game, which will be getting close to NBA record proportions. I believe it's something around 150 shots a game. Adams makes the fake. He sets up Rasmussen. Trying to run it down was Battle, but Connor has it. Connor's seeing a lot of time here in the first half. Pierce, flick of the wrist, swish. Ricky Pierce, six-man award last year, the second time he has done it. Only he and Kevin McHale have won it twice. Swish from downtown. Michael Adams hits his second of the night. He hit 5 against Utah, 4 against the Knicks, 9 in his last 2 games. And the shame of it, Michael Adams, who has made more three-pointers than anybody in the league this year, will not be in the long shooting contest in the All-Star game. And Michael also learned today he was not selected on the Western Conference All-Stars, something we'll talk about at halftime. Grayer with the force, ripped down by Wolf. Here is Adams now, takes a look. Darts against Connor into the corner. Rasmussen. Lohaus reaching in. This is Bukowski. Goes behind the back to Grayer, the third-year man out of Iowa State. First-round draft pick by the Bucks several years ago, trying to overcome a knee injury. There is Grayer, goes baseline, and is blocked by Rasmussen. Now it's Adams in a hurry. Darts by Pierce. Adams over Lohaus. Nuggets lead by 4, 9.5 to go. The foul goes against Grayer. Blair Rasmussen has that patented.
But you see that what the Nuggets have done here, they've gotten Milwaukee playing their style. Milwaukee Bucks, one of the most conservative teams in the league, and they're running fast breaks, throwing behind the back passes to guys down on the baseline, and Del Harris has to be going crazy right now.
And that's one reason they're also taking out Lester Connor and putting in his quarterback, Jay Humphreys. And the Nuggets go with Cadillac Anderson, who played for the Bucks last year and 27 games this year until he was traded to the Nets. Played 1 game with the Nets, was there for 1 week, and then was traded to the Nuggets. Lohaus. Well, the Bucks making a run. They're just 2 down. A long step by Pierce, and he's called for the traveling violation. Ricky Pierce. And he could light it up when he gets going. He, against Los Angeles Clippers the other night, the last game of the road trip. Bucks losing it by 1, 99-98. Pierce scored the last 8 points for Milwaukee. That game changed hands 5 times in the last minute and a half. Open man is Williams for 2. Swish. Reggie Williams putting up the numbers again. He has 11 in the first half.
Great ball movement that time by the Nuggets. The defense of Milwaukee started to rotate, and Denver found the open man in Reggie Williams.
8.5 to go in the first half. Some jostling inside. 2 referees saw it. Gabby and Bailey. It is called on Jerome Lanes. Anthony Cook checks in for the Nuggets, replacing Joe Wolf.
Watch the lower right-hand corner of your screen, and you'll see right there the elbow, oh my goodness, of Jerome right under the chin of Bukowski.
Bukowski finds Humphreys open. Anderson gets the rebound and throws it away. Bukowski can't hold on, but saves to Lohaus. Anderson rips it down, and now gets it into the hands of Adams. Fires it ahead to Lane. And Bukowski wraps up Jerome Lane. So Anderson at 6'9", or 6'10", and 240, sweeping the boards the last 2 times, and the second time he got the outlet right.
Alvin Robertson checks in for Ricky Pierce, but did you see what Bukowski did right there? That's really knowing the players on the floor. Instead of giving Jerome a layup, he sends a 39% free throw shooter to the line, and Jerome swishes it.
Al Albert, along with Dan Issel, would like to welcome a national TV audience on TNT to our broadcast from the Bradley Center. The Nuggets against the Milwaukee Bucks, and the Nuggets lead it 43-36 with 8 minutes to go in the second quarter. Robertson, Lohaus, he likes the 3, and he's got it. Hits for the 17th time from downtown this year.
Brad Lohaus, a 25% shooter from behind the three-point line. He doesn't hesitate.
Michael Adams passed up on the All-Star selections, has 13 points. And Reggie Williams, who has fit in nicely in the Nuggets lineup with that 3-pointer, his second of the night, leads all Nuggets scorers with 14. Williams is a start of the last 5 games for Denver. Has averaged 18 points per ball game. Picked up from San Antonio. Brakowski and the Nuggets again battling inside. Revving it up is Adams. He has hit several threes already. Robertson back the other way. Here's Humphries with 2 Nuggets back. The finger roll. Robertson misses with the stuff, and Eddie Rush will call the violation against Milwaukee.
Take another look at it as Humphrey has the shot just roll off. Robertson pushing off the shoulder. That's how Alvin got so high in the air, and the offensive foul against Robertson.
The Nuggets recently with the acquisitions of Reggie Williams and Cadillac Anderson and Kenny Battle, deepening the roster for Paul Westhead, and the Nuggets have reeled off 3 straight victories, all in come-from-behind fashion. Now trying to do it on the road against a Milwaukee Buck team that has lost just once at home.
3 blocks already by Brad Lowhouse early in the second quarter.
7-point lead for the Nuggets. 6.5 to go in the second. Humphries, the tip by Robertson. Alvin Robertson, who's headed to the All-Star game. Adams for 3. And Robertson with another rebound. 2-on-1. Anderson waiting back. Humphries for the reverse. And the Bucks to within 3. Adams for 3. Swish. He hits the 3rd of the night, and Michael Adams has now hit 12 threes in the last 3 games.
And the reason Michael is so open on those 3-pointers, because of his quickness, the Milwaukee guards really starting to retreat and give him that shot.
Ripped down by Anthony Cook. Adams buzzes by Brakowski. Fires it to Lane. Inside Anderson, and he smacks it home. The former Buck says hi to his Milwaukee fans. And the Nuggets lead is now 8. And that's the first basket for Greg Cadillac Anderson. And Anderson records it, and he remains on the floor. Chris Jackson joins Michael Adams. And Cadillac Anderson, who got the pass all alone, smashes it home. Nuggets hope first of many dunks from Cadillac Anderson. Pierce still hits it, and he is fouled by Marcus Liberty, who's making his first appearance in the ball game.
And Marcus is another player that Coach Westhead could be using in that backcourt, but you see Pierce, the consummate veteran, leans his shoulder in, makes sure the contact is seen by the official, then shoots the short fadeaway jump shot.
4th best foul shooter in the NBA, and he misses. Adams, 1 bounce right into the hands of Liberty. There's a length of the court, 1 bounce right on the money. Robertson and Humphries in the backcourt, Shays, Lowhouse, and Pierce up front for the Bucks. Robertson wants Jackson in low. Pierce is open. Ricky Pierce now in double figures with 10, and the Bucks bounce back to within 4.
Pierce missed his first 3, but he didn't stop shooting, and he's really warmed to the occasion now.
Jackson, flick of the wrist, got it.
Jackson.
Gave him too much room out there, and Jackson took advantage. 2nd bucket for Chris Jackson. Nuggets will be home Thursday night against Derek Coleman and the New Jersey Nets, and then Saturday night, Dominique Wilkins and the Atlanta Hawks come to McNichols Arena. Lowhouse scrambles for it.
Milwaukee trying to take advantage of Chris Jackson playing defensively on Robertson, and they do. That ball hit the glass first, and then Greg Anderson swept it away. Obvious goaltending call. Robertson, a nice spin move. Ball hits glass first, and there's the goaltend, and 20-second timeout.
And over the course of the last 3 games, and showing more of the positive signs tonight on the road against one of the better teams in the NBA. The Bucks, though, come back here to Milwaukee slumping. They have lost 9 of 11. Most of those losses, 8 of those on the road. And right now, they're filled a little bit with self-doubt, lack of confidence. They felt coming home would do the trick, especially against the Nuggets. Liberty off the screen. There is a congestion there. Nuggets have 6 seconds to shoot. Jackson doesn't need too much time. Swish. 6 points now for Chris Jackson. This year, Jackson is averaging 14 a game. He averages 12 per ball game at home, 16 a game on the road. Again, Robertson tries to get Jackson inside. Jackson gets the rebound, flips it to Adams. Down court, Liberty, who stops and pops. Shays gets the rebound for the Bucks.
I'm sure Milwaukee will keep going down inside to Robertson, taking advantage of that mismatch with Chris Jackson.
Bucks down to Adams. He's running along with Humphries. Darts inside and hits Michael Adams, turning Humphries around. And it's 18 points for Adams. Nuggets hold an 8-point lead. They have been in front from start to finish.
You see Robertson rubbing off of Shays at the top and then going right to the low post. There's the double team, the defensive help by Liberty.
Lohaus for three. Robertson gathers it in. And Cook over Robertson. Nuggets lays out 4-on-2. Jackson sets up Liberty for the reverse. The Nuggets moving the ball around. And Marcus Liberty is in the scoring column. And he gives the Nuggets their biggest lead.
Nice basket by Marcus Liberty.
Now Pierce chases. Almost lost it. Del Harris on the sideline holding his head. A steal. Cook takes it. Adams. Cook, the trailer. No foul. Nuggets ball, a golden opportunity. Robertson and Pierce can't hold on. You could hear some of the bluebirds at Bradley. A timeout is taken. Del Harris could do nothing more than shake his...
A style completely foreign to them. If you're going to run up and down with the Nuggets, Denver's going to do it better than you can.
Milwaukee just can't contain Michael Adams. Moving at will. And that is the third foul on Jay Humphries. So Adams is completely taking Humphries out of the game. And that is a big man for the Bucks to be missing.
And Jay especially, probably the Buck with the best quickness to stay with Michael. Lester Connor, no match for Adams.
Nuggets lead it by 10. Jackson has nothing. Gets it into Wolf. And he finds Williams baseline. Wolf with a setup, a beautiful pass for Joe Wolf.
Really was, without looking. Wolf knew that Williams was going to be going baseline and just dropped the pass right to him.
And over the course of the last few weeks, Joe Wolf really finding himself, doing all the little things that help. Lohaus, 7 points. He averages 4 a game. He's got 7 in the first half. A minute 35 left.
Prior to the game, Matt Calvin, former Denver Nugget, now an assistant here, was working with Lohaus for about half an hour on that shot.
Air ball from Chris Jackson. Remember, we'll be selecting tonight's Miller Lite All-Star of the game, and Miller will make a $100 donation to the Net Charity Foundation in his name. Right now, Reggie Williams with 16 points. Michael Adams leads the way with 18. High scorer for the Bucks. Pierce and Roberts each with 10. Williams all alone.
Lohaus tried to knock that ball off of Michael's leg. That was the only chance he had of saving it. When he missed Michael, it looked like he was trying to hit Williams for the layup.
1 minute to go in this first half. The Nuggets putting together, no question, one of their best halves on the road this year. Early in the season when they led San Antonio at the Hemisphere Arena, that has to rank right up there. Chris Jackson now barking at referee Ed Rush after that call.
Fouls out 3.
That's only team foul number 3, though, against Denver, so no free throws.
Del Harris calling the play. Asks us to say hello to his son Alex and his wife Noelle, who live in Littleton, and also his daughter Carrie in Colorado Springs. A Colorado connection for Coach Del Harris.
Offensive foul against Danny Shays. He tried to pin the arm of Blair Rasmussen, and Ed Rush saw it. Nuggets go the other way.
Time dwindling down in the first half. Nuggets by an even dozen. Rasmussen fires. And that was Jerome Lane got the hand in there to keep it alive. Williams back to Lane. So Jerome Lane starts it and he finishes it with the assist from Reggie Williams. Nuggets doing everything right.
Now that's what Jerome does best, get on the offensive boards. And now you can see Del Harris talking to the official, explaining exactly what he's doing wrong out there.
Final shot for the Bucks, and Connors beats Adams and leaves the Nuggets too much time. 8 seconds to get those two back. Adams taking Connor all the way. Denver will have the ball with a half a second. Jerome Lane complaining that he was hammered from behind.
And I think Jerome has a legitimate gripe. Alvin Robertson all over the back of Jerome Lane.
Half a second for the Nuggets. They've done everything else here in the first half. Why not? It counts. Adams finds Joe Wolf sneaking in. And look at the satisfaction on the face of Coach Paul Westhead.
Let's take another look at that play. Watch the defense of the Bucks. Both players go with Jerome, and Joe Wolf wide open for the layup, and the Nuggets are up by 14 at halftime.
Send that first half to the time capsule. The Nuggets led by Reggie Williams and Michael Adams, each with 18 second half of play. And you know, the Bucks had to hear it from Del Harris in the locker room. Rakowski takes it inside and has a three-point possibility.
Well, I'm sure that one of the things Del Harris said was, guys, we got to play the way we can play, and this is exactly how they do it. Get the ball down low, pound it inside. Rakowski with the layup over Anthony Cook, and a chance for the three-point play.
The foul, though, is called on Blair Rasmussen. So Rasmussen has his third personal foul. Last year, the Bucks had real problems up front. Cummings was gone. Larry Krzysztofiak was injured. Sigma was getting older. So that's why this year they picked up Rakowski and Danny Shays. There is Rasmussen, who beats everybody inside. Blair Rasmussen, he had 19 points against Utah, 15 in the second half. And tonight he starts nearly the same way, just 4 points in the first half, and strikes first for the Nuggets. They go to Rakowski one more time.
And Anthony's going to have to learn that Rakowski's left-handed. He wants to go that way every time. When he gets a ball, jump out there on that left side.
And here is Blair Rasmussen lighting it up. 8 points for Rasmussen.
An important time right now for the Nuggets, Al. You know that Milwaukee's going to come out fired up. If the Nuggets can hold them off for the next 5 minutes, they've got a great chance to win this ball game.
The Nuggets have won 3 in a row. They've won 5 of their last 7 games. Robertson doesn't get the bounce, and it's ripped down by Joe Wolf. Hey, he could be on his way to a triple-double. Rebounds, assists, and points. Adams beats Robertson and goes high off the glass. Michael Adams hits, and he has 20. Nuggets lead extends to 15.
I know if you polled the 20,000 in here tonight, Michael Adams would be on the All-Star team.
And if you polled the 20,000, well, it says 20,000. I would not say every seat is taken. Rakowski misses, and you asked him which team is 27 and 17 and which team is 11 and 30. Williams, who has hit a couple of three-pointers already tonight. Robertson on the run. Adams waiting for him.
And it was 1 on 5. All 5 Nuggets beat the other 4 Bucks down the floor.
Steal by Rasmussen, and he finds Adams, his pistons pumping. Darts inside, and Roberts behind the back to Williams. And there is Joe Wolf again to follow. And Wolf now has 8 points.
Reggie just shot that ball a little too quick, but again, we've talked about individual effort. Joe Wolf didn't stop. He kept right on coming and was rewarded with the 2 points.
The Nuggets lead grows to 17. Robertson is stopped by Cook. Nuggets helping out on defense. Rakowski rejected by Rasmussen. Shays looks for his first field goal. Can't get it. It's loose, and the Nuggets come out with it. Healing out is Michael Adams. He stops from 3. In and out for Adams. He thought he had number 4 from downtown tonight.
Michael stomps his foot on the floor. He thought that ball was in, but again, good hustle by Cook, and Rakowski forced to knock the ball out of bounds. Kenny Battle checks into the game. Joe Wolf is out.
So Wolf hears it from the 75 family and friends here at the Bradley Center. Williams still scraps inside, and he keeps it alive for the Nuggets. The Nuggets here at midseason, meshing, winning 3 in a row, and right now looking as strong as ever in a road game. They've won only 2 of 20 road games this year against Charlotte and Sacramento, and that Sacramento one was a month ago. The foul is on Fred Roberts, his first. Al Albert along with the horse, Dan Issel, and courtside at the Bradley Center in Milwaukee, where the Bucks have lost just once all year. Best home record in the league at 20-1. The double team on Adams, Brakowski, and it's all Frank Brakowski in the second half for the Bucks. He has scored all 7 of their points.
Brakowski caused the turnover by Michael by jumping out on that screen, knocking the ball away.
8.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Williams scraps for it. He goes down, kicks it out, and the Nuggets coming up with every loose ball. Adams for 3. Inside as Reggie Williams just slithers through the crack.
The Nuggets had 10 offensive rebounds, Al, in the first half, and I bet they've got 5 or 6 already here in the first 4 minutes of the second.
Off the screen, Fred Roberts. Traffic inside, and this will go against the Milwaukee Bucks. Brakowski is hit with his second foul.
And that was a pretty easy call for Ed Rush, because Brakowski knocked Anthony Cook about 3 rows deep into the stands.
The thread we have seen in the Nuggets' last 4 games, the fact that they have hung in and played extremely hard. They're really working in the trenches, giving up no easy baskets, tough half-court defense. And they have seemingly been growing together as a team. Here's one of the newcomers. Battle, wheels, and deals. It's good, and he is fouled. Meanwhile, Reggie Williams goes down hard. May have hit the back of his head on the floor in a collision with Humphries.
And Michael Adams calling very quickly for Larry Franca. Williams and Humphries tangled up, and Reggie really hit the back of his head hard on the floor. Nice move by Battle, the spin move. Watch right here on the right-hand side, the takedown by Reggie Williams. And the Nuggets are going to have to take a timeout here.
Spinning move by Kenny Battle, who was fouled. Things have been going just too well for the Nuggets. And Reggie Williams now, without any help, signals that he is okay. 20 points already for Reggie Williams tonight, and we're only 4.5 minutes into the second half.
The one thing about Coach Westhead's team, they played hard with almost without exception at the beginning of the year when they were getting beat night in and night out. Now that the Nuggets have tasted some success, they've even moved that effort to another level.
Getting the foul shot now. The foul was called inside, and Williams will get the foul shot. And he missed. A little shake it up. At that point, he may have seen 3 baskets.
So that was a 4th personal on Humphries.
Ricky Pierce has 12 points. Humphries is out of the ball game, and we get a look at rookie Steve Henson, the 5'11" from Kansas State. Second-round draft pick. This ball goes the other way. Battle. Now a jump ball is called. Originally, they were going to award the ball to the Bucks. Kenny Battle helping out.
And Kenny says to Ed Rush, see, I told you, watch this effort by Kenny Battle as he goes into the corner, tries to come away with this loose ball, and Battle never hit it. Kenny was absolutely right. That should have been Nuggets ball.
Well, the compromise is made. And Battle will be jumping against Robertson. Nuggets do get the ball back. Cook into the safe hands of Michael Adams, being guarded by the gym rat out of Kansas State. Henson hands at 5'11". Rasmussen pulls the trigger. This one is called against Kenny Battle. As from the middle of the pack, Robertson goes sliding out of the picture.
This game now getting very, very physical. Battle that time just threw Robertson to the floor.
A timeout is taken in Milwaukee. Reggie Williams trying to clear the cobwebs. Oh, Dwight, a headache for the Denver Nuggets. Reggie Theus and his New Jersey Nets come to town on Thursday. Tickets are available at Nichols Arena at all Ticketmaster locations. Freddie Roberts sneaks right in. Reggie Theus along with teammate Derek Coleman, #1 draft pick. There's Henson diving. There's a travel, but it wasn't called. Pierce didn't put the ball down, and the foul. And Henson, a dive like that, getting this crowd into the game.
Great effort right here by Henson as he goes on the floor and still has the wherewithal to get it over to Robertson. But you're right, Alan. Obvious walk, a skip, hop, skip, and a jump. And they're going to call the foul on Jackson. And Ricky Pierce goes to the line, 91% free throw shooter.
But he missed his first foul shot tonight. He missed the second one. Joe Wolf scampering back in for the Nuggets, replacing Anthony Cook. He missed Saturday's game because of the flu. The first game he missed all year. He was the last remaining Nugget to have played in every game. $14 points for Pierce, the leading scorer for the Bucks at 22 a game. And he comes off the bench. Swish. Chris Jackson has 8 points.
Well, he doesn't need much room to get that jump shot off.
81-66 in favor of the Nuggets. Henson, Kansas State leading scorer. Pierce over Battle. Fred Roberts, the opportunist. 14 points for Roberts.
And those are the things that Nuggets can't do, because Milwaukee will make a run at some point. You can't let them have easy baskets.
Henson bracing for Adams. Shot put, swish. Michael Adams with 22 points. He's averaging now 24.5 points a game. 10th best in the NBA. He's just passed Hakeem Olajuwon to move in the top 10. Robertson cut off by Jackson. Shot clock down to 6 seconds. Here's Adams scurrying out with Battle on the left. Adams all the way and draws the foul. Pierce and Henson come back to try to contain Michael Adams, and they just can't do it. Foul on Henson.
Watch what Michael does right here. Watch him put the ball against his waist. Right there, you see him? He cups the ball. Make sure that he keeps his body between the basketball and the defense. Great effort by Michael, and he'll go to the free throw line. Jerome Lane in, and Kenny Battle will have a seat.
Short stint for Battle. Battle's main concern when he joined the Nuggets in his first game was that he might be a little bit too winded. The high altitude in Denver. He hadn't played since December 4th.
And you see, always a learning process. Brand new to the club. Mike Evans down there with the clipboard going over a few things.
23 points for Adams, 2 of 3 from the foul line tonight. He's an 87% shooter. There's the bulge by Denver. 5:20 left in the third. Robertson throws it from the outside. He's in double figures with 10 points. Adams a flyer. Nuggets getting their hands up there, and it's off a buck. Ricky Pierce and out of bounds. Adams with Jackson in the backcourt. Rasmussen, Wolf, and Lane up front. Rasmussen playing with the 3 personal fouls. Adams now guarded by Robertson, who had 301 steals several years ago, most ever in one season in the league. This call again goes against Milwaukee. Last touch by a Buck.
They're going to say Roberts, rather. Fred Roberts touched the ball last. And again, the Nuggets retain possession.
Jackson, 2 men on him, and the foul will be called on the Nugget rookie. Offensive foul on Chris Jackson. He gets his 3rd foul.
And I think that this is what Chris Jackson has to learn more than anything else, is to learn not to force the shot. That's a shot that he took at LSU, but he doesn't have to take those shots here with the Nuggets. He's got other teammates that can put it in the basket.
Henson, and we have some congestion inside. Jerome Lane trying to take out 2 of the Bucks, Roberts and Lohaus. And I believe the foul is called on Jerome. Yes, it is. Second foul on Lane. 4 minutes, 39 seconds to go in the 3rd. Lohaus, it counts, and he is fouled.
Foul goes against Joe Wolf. You see him stick his chest out there trying to break up the movement by Lohaus, and smart play by Brad as he continues to play and throws it off the glass and in.
Lohaus came here to Milwaukee last January from Minnesota in return for Randy Brewer. 10 points for Lohaus, including a 3-pointer. Bucks playing without Jack Sikma, continues to have back problems. Danny Shea's starting tonight, but Shea's still looking for his first field goal and is now on the bench. Adams into the hands of Rasmussen. Lohaus scores it off the head of Fred Roberts. And Roberts can't hold on. Now, if that went off the head of Fred Roberts into the hands for Robertson for an uncontested layup, would Roberts get the assist? Jackson, no. Nuggets now have gone cold from the floor. Coming down to 4 minutes left in the 3rd. Denver's lead has been whittled to 11. Jackson scurries away from Robertson. And hits. Adams gets it to Jackson, and now Jackson is in double figures with 10.
And most teams, with the opposition making a run like that, would have slowed it down, made sure they got a good shot. Not the Nuggets, the first open one, and it's out of the basket.
Cadillac Anderson getting ready to come in. Here is Henson. Way off the mark. Robertson runs it down. Lohaus with the left hand. Robertson had 8 rebounds in that first half. Goes off of Adams and out of bounds, and now the crowd starting to get back in this ball game. Cadillac Anderson, the ex-Buck, is in to give Blair Rasmussen a rest, and this is part of the flexibility now for Paul Westhead. He could rest Rasmussen so he doesn't get into foul trouble, and you saw the way Blair played at the end of the last 2 games against Patrick Ewing in New York, and also taking with him Karl Malone in Utah. Strong finishes for Rasmussen the last couple of games. Joe Wolf gets his 3rd foul. Anthony Cook comes in. So Westhead now has a rotation with Rasmussen as a starting center. Cook, Wolf, and Cadillac Anderson all could play either a backup center role or a power forward. Ricky Pierce with a couple of shots. He is the highest scoring reserve in the NBA over the course of the last 5 years. He has averaged 18 points a game. And last season, when he scored 23 points, the highest scoring single season for a guard in Buck history. And that passes Sidney Moncrief.
We talked about how important reputation is to be selected to the All-Star game. The only non-starter that will be in Charlotte.
The Bucks now cut it under the double figures mark. Jackson twists and misses. Lohaus loses to Anderson, but he can't connect. And it's run down by Adams. A sliding Henson goes by. Adams for 3. Jerome Lane keeps it alive. Nuggets doing a job hammering the offensive boards. Down to 2:39 left in the 3rd. Adams playing against Henson. Swish. 25 for Michael Adams. Eye to eye with the rookie for the Bucks. And the Nuggets lead is now 11 points. Ricky Pierce slashing in that half-court offense, looking for his shots. Henson. 3 for a quarter for the rookie. Adams galloping out. Stops at the three-point line. Now he continues. He beats Pierce for the finger roll. Michael Adams with 27, and he is now on fire. Adams gives the Nuggets a 13-point lead.
And when Michael realized that he was isolated over there on the left side with Ricky Pierce, he had one thing on his mind, getting to the backboard.
Henson with a stutter step, and from behind, rejected by Anthony Cook. And a timeout is taken with 1:48 to go. Michael Adams on the run. Features 10 first-round picks. Chris Jackson, who was selected third. Reggie Williams was the fourth pick in the draft by the Clippers. Woolridge, number 6. Wolf was a 13th pick in the first round for the Clippers. Lichty and Rasmussen, number 15, and on down the line, Anderson, Lane, Cook, and Battle. The only two Nuggets that were not selected in the first round. Michael Adams, who is their most valuable player, was the lowest draft pick on this Nugget roster. And, of course, Marcus Liberty in the second round last year. Fred Roberts, and Roberts is the thorn in the Nuggets' side. 16 points for Fred Roberts. 1 minute, 35 seconds and counting here in the third quarter. Nuggets now with a rest for Michael Adams, who goes out with 27. Twisting and turning, Kenny Battle.
And right there, a fine example of the athleticism of Kenny Battle. A quick spin move and a pretty left-handed shot off the glass. We've got stopping the action, something on the floor out at half court.
Kenny Battle, who, of course, at Illinois was the teammate of Marcus Liberty, going to the Final Four. That last time out, Reggie Williams, led by Nugget trainer Larry Franca, to the locker room. This resulted from the fall that Jackson in the third quarter that Williams went down and hit his head. And, last year he played 7 minutes a game, averaged 2 points. They weren't interested in him. Went on to San Diego and was then eventually traded here to Milwaukee. 19 points now for Ricky Pierce. The Bucks trying to make a move. This is the closest they've been in some time. Jackson gets hung out in the air. 92-84 in favor of the Nuggets. Liberty forces for three. Here is Connor. 3 Nuggets back. Connor blocked by Cook. Roberts, though, saves to 3. And when you look back, that shot may be the game. Pierce hits that, all of a sudden they're back, and the crowd is certainly into it. And it's a save. Pierce traveled again. He got away with it. And a foul on Anderson.
Greg better be careful he doesn't pick up the technical foul. It was a clean block upstairs, but he really hammered Roberts with the lower body.
Watch the feet again of Pierce. Am I mistaken?
Sure looks like a travel to me. The clean block upstairs, but you saw the push down low with the offhand. And Fred Roberts will go to the free throw line for 2.
Well, just as Danny Shays wants to do the job against his former mate, so does Craig Anderson against Milwaukee. And as this whole trade developed, the Nuggets sent Danny Shays to Milwaukee for Terry Mills, then shipped Mills to the Nets for Anderson. So essentially, it's Shays for Anderson. 2.5 seconds left in the third. Steal by Pierce. Doesn't get the shot off, and Ricky Pierce just was not aware of the time. He could have put it up, but instead decided to dribble. But the Milwaukee Bucks have bounced back, trailing by as many as 17. They are now just 6 behind, heading into the fourth quarter.
Michael was on the bench.
Well, remember when Adams hit that last layup, it gave the Nuggets a 13-point lead, but Nuggets outscored in the last, as you see there, minute 40, and it has put Milwaukee back in the game, and now some full court pressure. Blair Rasmussen, unaware, ran down the floor, not helping, but he still gets the pass. Adams is back in there for Denver. Adams. Everything else has been going. That's the weirdest shot of the season. Now the Nuggets have Marcus Liberty in the backcourt. Jackson is resting on the bench. He has 4 fouls. And Reggie Williams, who took that spill and hit the back of his head, is in the locker room. Fred Roberts Jerome Lane in traffic. And it's Adams. He squirts inside. And Michael Adams putting on a show here tonight. The foul is called on Lester Connor. Adams, who has been averaging 30 points a game over the course of the last 4, is 3 shy of that tonight.
Well, this is a matchup Harris is not going to be able to go with very long, because you can see Connor starts backpedaling about the time Michael crosses over half court. There's no way Lester Connor could stay with Michael, and Adams will go back to the free throw line. Just the 4th and 5th free throws for Michael in this game.
Michael has been a terror, especially in the second half. Against Utah the other night, he scored 20 of his 37 in the second half. Against the Knicks, he had 6 points at halftime, scored 25 more, and had a total of 31. 25 more in the second half. And Adams is now 1 point shy of the 30 mark, which he has achieved on 5 occasions this year. Pierce guarded by Jerome Lane. On the arm, says Ed Rush. Lane hits him late, but still tagged with a foul.
One of our guests on tonight's game will receive a gift from Panasonic.
Rocky.
Think Rocky watches TV?
Oh, sure. Well, he's trying to study all these slam dunkers as he gets ready for the mascot slam dunk contest All-Star Weekend. I think Rocky will be trying some of those slam dunks at home Thursday and Saturday, where the Nuggets face the Nets and Atlanta, gearing up for the competition. Nuggets lead is now down to 6. Shot clock is now down to 6. Wheeling and dealing is Lane. 3 Nuggets are on the boards, but Shays in the middle rips it down. Ricky Pierce, he's the dangerous one. And Ricky Pierce is 23. Ricky Pierce is the kind of player who can do it himself. He can bring the team back. And it's now a 4-point game. And you don't want to have a Ricky Pierce on the floor against you in a tight game in the 4th quarter. And that's what this one is becoming. Joe Wolf with a sweeping hook, and Wolf in double figures with 10.
That was a big bucket for the Nuggets. And, Wolf was going to the backboard the entire time when he realized he had Jeff Grayer guarding.
Here's guarded by Liberty. Liberty with a steal. Here's Adams with Grayer. Adams slices through and hits, and that's 31 for Adams. He has hit the 30 mark in each of his last 3 games.
And Michael did the same thing that time. He cupped the ball to his chest to make sure the defense couldn't get to it, and then flipped it off the backboard.
The Bucks were within 4. It's now an 8-point lead for the Nuggets. 9.5 to go in the 4th quarter. Here's steal by Liberty. Liberty all over Pierce. Ripped down by Lane. A tough rebound in traffic for Jerome Lane. Al Albert along with Dan Issel at the Bradley Center in Milwaukee.
And now we get word from the locker room, Al, that Reggie Williams has a slight concussion and will not return tonight.
Danny Shays, the personal foul. That is 3. Danny has 3 more personal fouls than field goals. In the 8 seasons that Danny Shays was with the Nuggets, doing a yeoman's work, blue-collar worker inside, but Danny is on one of the lists career-wise in Nugget history, and that is for personal fouls with 1,722 in his 8 years. He ranks number 4. Number 3 was Byron Beck. Number 2 for most personal fouls was Alex English. Dan, who do you think was number 1? Actually tied with Alex, but in fewer seasons.
I have no idea. Yes, I did.
Dan Issel, that was one of several categories in the all-time Nuggets history book.
And you had to put that one up there.
Well, it was part of the story we're trying to construct here. Nuggets lead by 8. 9 minutes to go. Shays strip. Lane darts by Pierce, who gets a piece of him. And now Wolf holds for his buddy Michael Adams. They've formed a pretty good friendship. You know when it started? Early in the season in Utah, when Wolf came to Adams' aid, when Karl Malone started hawking at Michael Adams, Wolf stepped in. And that was appreciated by Adams. Here's Wolf scrapping, keeps it alive for Rasmussen again and again and again.
Well, that doesn't help your shooting percentage much, but it's a nice way to build up your rebounds figures. 3 tries for Blair, and he finally gets it to go down.
And he now has 14 boards. Humphreys checks back in. It won't count. A foul inside, and it's called on Shaves.
And that's the second time Danny has been called for locking his arm against his chest and holding on to Blair's arms. That's the second offensive foul. Watch Danny right there. Oh, it wasn't Blair. Excuse me. It was Michael Adams that he was holding on to.
Liberty forces. Marcus has taken some very creative shots here tonight, but the Nuggets, with Milwaukee breathing down their backs, coming to within 4, have opened the lead back up to 10. Rasmussen with the defense on Lohaus. Rasmussen with a block. Ripped off by Wolf. Flying is Adams.
Oh, my goodness. Look where Harris is. He's gone. That's unbelievable. Del Harris out on the floor knocks Michael Adams to the ground, and he's out of here.
Harris was complaining on that last call. Came out on the floor. That's how quick Michael Adams is. Before Harris knew it, Adams was storming his way. And Del Harris is gone. And ejection is not strong enough for what we just saw.
Well, Del Harris obviously trying to motivate his team right now, but he could have hurt somebody. Take another look at it. Lohaus right there, and that's the play he was complaining about. He thought Brad was fouled. The block, or maybe it was that call. Maybe he wanted to goaltending. But look where Harris is right now. Trying to take the charge.
Either that or he has seen that none of his defenders have been able to stop Adams. Yet tonight he figured he'd try to take Adams on the drive.
And what they're going to do right here, I think, is give Adams the breakaway call. 2 free throws for Michael, and the Nuggets will retain possession.
NBA history, my friends. You have just seen a coach called for a breakaway foul. 102-90. The Nuggets have taken a 12-point lead. And there's a steal by Robertson.
Well, we'll see if Harris gets what he was trying for, and that is to wake up a slumbering Milwaukee Bucks basketball team.
They have 7.5 minutes to try and wake up. Battle against Pierce. Rasmussen guarded by Brakowski. He's fouled. It is number 4, Frank Brakowski.
And they're going to call it a one-shot foul. I thought that Blair did a great job of throwing the ball up to the basket, trying to get the free throws. Watch it. As soon as Blair realizes he's fouled, he shoots the ball. Ed Rush says no. And the Nuggets get it inbound.
Wolf spins away and hits. Double fingers for Joe Wolf.
Great play by Joe Wolf. He realized he had Lohaus on his right shoulder. He spun to the baseline and had the layup.
Joe Wolf is playing best all-around basketball in the NBA in his career, 4 years. Brakowski pounds inside. 13 points for Frank Brakowski. High man for Milwaukee is Pierce with 23. Adams has 33 for the Nuggets. And Reggie Williams, with a slight concussion back in the locker room, has 20. He had 18 in the first half. Wrapped up his battle by Brakowski, and it's number 5 on the Milwaukee power forward. And he battled to the line. He scored 6 points in 8 minutes in his debut the other night. And he is looking for his 8th point. Paul Westhead making good use of Kenny Battle very quickly. Here he was in his first game Saturday night, and he's playing the end of the game.
And once again, we have that matchup. Chris Jackson trying to guard Alvin Robertson, and immediately the Bucks try to go on to the low post. That's team foul number 2 against Denver, so no free throws.
Jackson now has 5 fouls. Remember, the Nuggets don't have another legitimate guard. With Williams back in the locker room. This goes against the Nuggets. Called on Blair Rasmussen, his 4th. So Marcus Liberty now checks in at the guard spot. Marcus at 6'8", and he'll try to stop Alvin Robertson.
That's a good move because right now the Nuggets need defense on Robertson more than they need the offense.
Brokowski, and he has 15 points. The Nuggets lead is 10. Now we have 6 minutes to go, and Liberty slices in, and he draws the foul. And it's the first of the game on Ricky Pierce, who says he didn't touch him.
Take another look at it. Marcus goes hard to the hole, and Ricky Pierce might be right. Nuggets got a break right there. It didn't look like anybody hit Liberty. Chris Jackson, I think, the man behind the towel.
It's getting so nerve-wracking, he just can't look.
Maybe he knows that Marcus is a 66% free throw shooter.
And Liberty goes up and strikes twice. 108-96. The Denver Nuggets have been in front from start to finish. The Bucks were within 4 earlier in this 4th quarter. Battle right up on Pierce, and it's Rasmussen who knocks it away. Adams runs into Pierce, and the foul.
And the Nuggets are in the bonus situation, and so this foul right here.
And Michael always looking for that 3-point opportunity. He's going to foul, and just going for another 3-pointer. Timeout taken by the Bucks. 5 inside the last 6 minutes of the 4th quarter. If you're looking for a place for valued clients to stay or just a place to get away, try Stouffer's Hotel at the airport. You can count on professional treatment every time. Michael Adams, 7 of 8 from the foul line, and this is a play you'll be seeing on all the shows around the country. That's the 6th-man defense, and that leaves Frank Hamlin, former Nuggets assistant coach, and Matt Calvin, former Denver great, the assistants here in Milwaukee, to take the reins the rest of the way, with Harris getting the reaction. Only the 3rd field goal for Humphries, who's been saddled with foul trouble. Michael Adams getting him to the bench with fouls early. Right into the hands of Brokowski. Battle hustles back after giving it up. And Battle fouls him before the shot.
Great hustle by Kenny Battle after he threw the ball away. Hustling down to the other end to get in front of Brokowski, and fouls him before Brokowski can get his shot off. So the easy opportunity taken away, and Milwaukee simply puts the ball in play.
14 fouls now on the Nuggets, down to 5 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. Liberty stripped by Adams, who helped out. Nuggets peeling out. 3-on-2. Adams whips it to Liberty. Marcus Liberty will get back to the foul line. Adams passes pinpoint precision.
Kenny Battle trying to set up Liberty. There's the steal by Michael, and he's off to the other end. Now watch, Kenny Battle tries to screen off Humphries from Marcus, but the foul on Humphries, and Liberty at the free throw line.
Dangerous play there. Liberty looked like he may take the same route as Reggie Williams, being knocked off balance. Nuggets getting them from the foul line in this 4th quarter, and Marcus Liberty, as Dan had mentioned, a 66% shooter, now 3 of 4 from the line in the 4th.
And that's a stat that Nuggets haven't seen much this season. They're going to the line much more than the opposition.
Robertson and the whistle. One thing that Nuggets don't want to do now is give fouls and stop the clock and allow Milwaukee to get back on the foul line.
And the other thing they don't want to do, Al, is to get tentative. They have built this 13-point lead by getting up and down the court, taking the quick shots, pounding the offensive boards. You won't see that man pulling it back out. The Nuggets will continue to go after it.
And for the Bucks to get back in this game now with 4:45 to go, they have to play out of their game. They are essentially a half-court team. And they're 12 points behind with the time running out. Adams, double team on him, looking for help. Goes cross court. Cook comes out to get it. Nice play by Anthony Cook. That was a tough cross-court pass, and Brakowski was ready to shoot out for the steal, and Cook didn't wait for it, but came out to get it.
You're exactly right. Just like a wide receiver in football, you can't stand there and wait for the ball to come to you. You have to come back toward that pass. That's exactly what Cook did.
And now it puts a 55% shooter in the foul line. Anthony just went up there and rushed that first shot.
Sometimes when you're not a very good free throw shooter, the only thing you want to do is get it over quickly.
But he makes one of two, and it gives Denver a 13-point lead. Now watching the clock ticking down to 4 minutes and 30 seconds in the fourth quarter. Humphrey stopped by Cook. It is Jerome Lane guarding Pierce. That's the big matchup as far as the Nuggets are concerned. Adams wheels away from Robertson and now brings it back. Trying to eat the clock, coming down to 4 minutes to go. Nuggets trying to pull off another big victory. Lane in traffic. Robertson one-on-one against Cook. And Cook sends Robertson to the foul line. The Nuggets Saturday night beat their first 500 club. And tonight they're trying to take it one step further, beating a 500 club on the road.
And looking to become just the second team to come into the Bradley Center here in Milwaukee and go away with the victory.
The Bucks 20-1 at home, losing only to the Philadelphia 76ers. So Robertson, who shoots 76% from the line, 2 of 4. Full court pressure continues, and the big men, Wolf to Rasmussen. Liberty wisely brings it out. Nuggets trying to nurse the 12-point lead. Denver returning home Thursday night. And the scene has certainly changed at McNichols Arena over the course of the last week. Nuggets coming from behind in each of 3 games for victories. Pierce for 3.
See, and I don't like, Al, what the Nuggets have done the last 2 trips down. They've gotten tentative, trying to take time off the clock, and all they've done is throw the ball away.
The double team blindsiding on Adams. Foul on Robertson.
And this is one of the big reasons that Joe Wolf was put in the game for Anthony Cook. We saw Anthony, a 55% free throw shooter. Joe Wolf is shooting 90% from the line this season.
And Joe Wolf has hit 14 straight from the foul line, 23 of his last 25.
We can jinx him, can't we?
Jackson comes in and Liberty goes out. So for the 3rd straight game, Jackson is in over the course of the last few minutes. This is all coming off. You remember the game against Minnesota, Jackson played only 8 minutes. But he has had some solid performances against the Knicks and Utah in the last 2. Pierce with Lane. And now Ricky Pierce taking over, and he has 28 points.
Delay a game call against Milwaukee. They knocked the ball out of bounds after it came through the net.
Michael Adams knows he's going to get some full court pressure, threads the needle to Wolf, who returns it. And the open man is Jackson. He pulls the trigger. Swish.
There you go. That's exactly what you need to do. Go right at it.
12 points now for Chris Jackson. Comes off the bench. And nothing but net. Here's the 3. Whistled away by Brakowski. Rasmussen got a piece of that one. A whistle inside. The foul is on Joe Wolf.
Brakowski just goes in and muscles that ball away from Joe Wolf. Goes up strong. The foul on Joe.
Brakowski will get a couple of shots. Held things together at San Antonio for several years while they were awaiting David Robinson. And once the Spurs picked up Robinson that added Terry Cummings, Brakowski did not have as much value, and they traded him here to Milwaukee for Paul Pressure. 17 points for Brakowski. The lead is 8 now. And 2.5 minutes to go. Now the Nuggets looking to use the clock and to keep Milwaukee from possessions and opportunities. They have to have 4 possessions, 4 field goals. Now make it 5 to tie the Nuggets. Back door goes Jerome Lane, and nobody is home.
Bad defense by Alvin Robertson, one of the best defensive players in this league. He turned his back, and Jerome just walked into the layup.
Roberts for 3. Rasmussen, his 15th rebound of the game. Nuggets bust out 3 on 2. Adams will take it late to him. Smashed home by Jerome Lane. And the Nuggets lead by 12. With a minute 57 left. And Lane is in double figures with 11 points.
That sends some of the fans here out into the cold Wisconsin night.
Burkowski, swish. 18 points for Burkowski. 119 to 109. Nuggets.
They might be leaving a little early, though, Al.
Adams, there's Lane, who's at 5 of 6 from the floor. Down to a minute and a half. Jackson, the release. Milwaukee has the ball. Milwaukee has to score 5 field goals and hold the Nuggets to none in the next minute 27, unless it practiced yesterday when Denver arrived here in Milwaukee. And a nervous look on the face of Frank Hamlin, now taking over for Del Harris, who was ejected after coming on the floor and making contact with Michael Adams. Actually, that was the best defensive play on Adams of the game.
And a foolish foul right there by Jerome Lane. Frank Burkowski setting the pick. And Jerome just threw Burkowski to the floor, so the clock stops. And Milwaukee with a chance to score 2.
Burkowski has hit all 4 of his foul shots. He has hit 52 of his last 55 from the foul line. Once a 3rd-round draft pick. The Knicks spent years in Italy, France, and Israel playing before signing as a free agent with Seattle. Nuggets will have it. 1:15 left. That takes 4 seconds off the clock. Everybody is in the half court. And a steal. Foul on Rasmussen. It is not over yet because Burkowski, who just isn't missing from the foul line, has a chance for 2 more.
Sometimes the best thing to do to a pressing team is to press them right back. And Milwaukee comes away with the steal and the foul with Blair. And again, the clock is stopped. Burkowski a chance to cut the margin by 2 more.
The Nuggets do have 2 timeouts left. This could be a 6-point game with too much time left. 23 for Burkowski. 12 for another throwaway. Humphries for 3. Robinson. And he'll go to the foul line. The Milwaukee Bucks are back in business. Rasmussen has fouled out.
And you just saw Blair kind of shrug his shoulders. He was looking at Chris Jackson. He expected Jackson to take off down the floor. All 4 of the Nuggets on the floor had come to the foul line. I think Jackson was supposed to take off. Blair lobbed it over the head, but all he found was a Milwaukee Buck.
Now the Nuggets are huddled and getting their signals together. 12th time this season that Blair Rasmussen has fouled out. The clock is stopped. And that clock has not been moving much. 1:03 left.
The thing I don't like about the lineup that's on the floor for Denver right now, you've got Jerome Lane, a 39% free throw shooter. Anthony Cook, a 55% free throw shooter, but not much choice.
He runs it down. It's a 3-point game. With a minute to go. Adams this time scurries it across, and he is fouled. Lojas with the foul, and that is his 2nd.
What the Nuggets are going to have to do here, Al, is get the ball into Michael Adams' hands, yes, but then the Nuggets are going to have to set some picks and give Michael some help getting that ball up the court. What a run by the Bucks.
Adams 8 of 9 from the foul line. This has been a familiar scene in the last 3 games. Adams to the foul line down the stretch. And that also is familiar, counting it. So the Nuggets, who have had the big lead here in this 4th quarter, Chris Jackson goes out and Battle goes in.
Situation of substitution for Westhead. He can put Battle in defensively, and if he has to, call a timeout to get Jackson back in when they go to the offensive end.
Second straight 37-point performance for Adams. And the Nuggets lead it by 5. Denver every game lately going down to the final minute. Lojas. Jerome Lane rips it down. 40 seconds to go. Adams using the clock. Splits through Robinson and Lojas. Adams with Bucks starting all over, and he loses the ball. And it's an easy layup for Humphries. With 26 seconds to go and a 3-point lead. Wolf is fouled in the backcourt. And the Bucks fouling one of the better Nugget shooters from the line. So Michael Adams, who did all the dazzling work to keep away from 3 Bucks and then losing his footing. See a few more gray hairs on the side of Paul Westhead's head.
Well, these are huge free throws for the Nuggets.
And you hear the crowd, and as soon as Wolf hit it, they quiet down, but you then heard the 75 of his friends kept on cheering. Timeout taken by the Bucks. 24 seconds to go. Into the hands of Humphries. Looking for Pierce. Lojas for 3. Cook can't hold on. 14 seconds to go. Robertson. 10 seconds left. Nuggets have to get it inbounds, and they use one of their timeouts. Anthony.
Inbounds pass has to go into front court. Can't come back over the 10-second line. So Milwaukee all over Chris Jackson and Michael Adams.
Some confusion. Joe Wolf with 14. Chris Jackson has 12 points. Jerome Lane with 11, and Blair Rasmussen with 10. For the Bucks, they're being led by Lane and Wolf. The Bucks counter with 3 guards. Humphries, Robertson, Connor, along with Roberts and Brakowski. Tough pass. Wolf gathers it in, gets it into the hands of Adams, waiting to be fouled, and does with 6 and change left. And it was a great grab in traffic by Joe Wolf, who then found Adams. He knew what to do with the ball.
And a great decision by Wolf, because he wasn't part of this play, but when he saw Lane in trouble, he knew Jerome didn't have a timeout. He came and got the basketball and then did a good job getting it back to Michael. 2 free throws here, 6.5 seconds to go, and Milwaukee's in big trouble.
Milwaukee's hope now that Adams misses at least 1 of 2. That's what he's done from the foul line tonight. He's looking for his 38th point. Swish. 123 to 120. The Nuggets trying to hold on.
Milwaukee has 1 timeout. I'm sure make or miss, they'll take it right after this.
Swish. 12 of 13 from the 5th player of the week, and even adds on to that effort. Very young team. Only Orlando Woolridge and Michael Adams and Blair Rasmussen have more than 3 years experience coming in to this season. And as we had showed you before, Nuggets now feature 10 first-round draft picks.
And those first-round draft picks, some of them a little disappointing in their first or second stop, but right here they're getting a chance to get some playing time and to show their great athletic ability, the ability that made them first-round picks in the beginning.
There's the arithmetic. Lojas will put it in play. Henson inserted. eating up some time. Roberts. Swish. 1:06 still remaining. The Nuggets just have to get the ball in. Cook finds Adams, and he holds on for dear life.
And Michael didn't like the way that Henson took him to the floor right there, and he came up swinging.
Wohlhaus trying to cool him off. Well, it gives Milwaukee a glimmer of hope.
Good job by Anthony. Jumps out of bounds in a hurry and gets it to Michael. Watch Henson take Michael right to the floor.
Now Henson, who did play high school football on the tackle, although he was a kicker, owning a 39-yard field goal and also once a 61-yard punt. Like he's trying to punt Adams. So Adams could sew it up by making 2 more and go over the 40 mark. There's one. Career high of 44 points came earlier this season on the road in Sacramento. And for the second time in his career, has hit the 40 mark and breathing a little easier now. The Nuggets, Paul Westhead. 41 for Adams, and that will ace it. 14 of 15 from the foul line. And the Denver Nuggets continue to roll on, winning their 4th straight, and doing it against a team that had lost just once at home in 21 games. The Denver Nuggets growing together as a team walk off triumphantly and head back to Denver to face